Yeah, man. It's
Oh
tough.
yeah, you couldn't hear me.
No, yeah, sorry,
I was
mate.
like, the only thing that was in focus was the Budweiser.
Yep. Well,
So,
it's half eight. It's what, Sunday night?
is it? I guess it is, ain't it?
Yeah. And the thing is, because I'm on half term, mate. I'm a teacher, and my wife's a teacher, so we get the school holidays with the kids, which basically means a lot of drinking on a Monday night, drinking on a Tuesday night, drinking on a Wednesday night. That's a more
Stay,
sensible thing.
you gotta stay hydrated, man. Gotta stay hydrated.
Oh, yeah, man, I've had plenty of water today, so I'm ready to rock and roll. So, mate, how did you had a big event planned a while ago?
Yeah.
How did that go?
So our first artist spotlight, our actual first live concert,
Yeah.
like 4 people showed up in person. It was rainy, it was miserable outside. We just got off this really horrible cold streak. Like we had like 3 inches of ice everywhere.
Right.
So I wasn't really expecting a lot,
Yeah.
but we had like over 500 people watch the live stream of the concert. So that was dope. No,
Yeah, man,
that
that's
was
really good.
super dope. But there's a guy named Jared Dawes. Um, he showed up. He performed all live music. It was like all acoustic. It was, and it was at a friend of mine's venue, a place called Lips Lounge. It was super dope. Like it surprised me. And I had my homie do the narration. He asked the questions just like he did on my normal artist spotlights, and the dude answered questions in between songs, and he picked out songs based on the questions that were being asked. So some of them
That's
matched, some of
cool,
them didn't,
man.
but it was super dope.
Yeah, man, that sounds
Um,
great.
like as far as in person, in person, it was it was cool. We had some people come out. We had some people wander in, but the amount of people that watched the live stream was like super dope to me. I
Yeah,
set it
man.
up to stream on his Facebook page as well as mine, and yeah, it was well received by many.
Yeah, that's really good, dude. That's
And
really cool. Congratulations, man, because I know how much work goes into an event like that.
all in, all in, after advertising, after paying for the venue, paying for everything, it only cost me like $25.
Damn, that's impressive, man.
I mean, like I spent more money on the babysitter to watch my kids than I had to come out of pocket to pay for this event. That's why I'm like, yeah, if you want to do a concert, I got you. We will set the shit up. We will get it arranged and advertised and everything for you
Yeah.
because it's not a huge cost to me to do it.
Mm.
And things already cost so much for me to do anything.
Yeah,
Like
true.
it's $100 just for somebody to come watch my kids so I can leave the house. So if I gotta pay $100 to $200 for a venue to have a local
Yeah.
artist being able to be spotlighted and showing their music, and I can record it and make a video out of it or whatever, I'm all
Yeah.
for it. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
money
got you.
well spent,
Right,
man.
right. It don't hurt me none.
Mm.
If nothing else, I paid for a concert for me and my wife and my friends, and like 600 internet fees to watch.
Yeah, that's really cool, man.
Wow.
And the thing is also that was the first one.
Mhm.
So and the lessons that you learn and the stuff for the next one, it'll be bigger and
You know what
there'll
I
be
learned? I learned I don't give a shit about the money. It was
yeah.
a dope experience. Even if it cost me $1,000 and we got 4 people to watch it,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Still
It
worth
was
doing.
so
That's
worth
great,
doing it.
man. That's like absolutely the right attitude,
And it gets me is I've had so many people like, "Why are you doing that? Why are you spending your money on somebody else's art? Why are you going through all this effort?" I'm like, "Because I'm dope and I do dope shit, that's why." You know what I'm
Yeah, man,
saying?
that's all you need to know.
It's a horrible way to treat people, but I mean, I really just like the fact that people are like, "Why are you giving opportunities to other people?
Yeah,
Why
which is
not?"
a crazy question.
Right.
Like,
Why
it's
not?
insane.
If
Yeah.
I could convince you to fly over here and perform in front of the same 4 people, I fucking do it. I do it in a heartbeat. Like, yeah, come on, bring your kids, bring your family. Let's go to let's to base the rocket city. let's eat some crepes and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
I'll be down, mate. I always like a free holiday. I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie.
Hey, I need you to get with William and y'all do some shit together.
Yeah, do you know we've been talking a little bit actually. He sent me the couple of mixes of
Hmm.
the last song he put out, Sun. Was just asking my opinion on stuff. So we've been back and forth. I've been trying to kind of big him up a bit
Yeah, that shit's super
online.
dope.
Yeah, I mean, what's nice as well is that, like, I put a post about hitting, I think it was like 1,500 followers, and I got all
Hmm.
excited. And he put a post, and he was just like, "I haven't." And I was checking it out. I was like, for a guy who is as talented as that guy
I
is,
know.
and he had like 180 followers. I was like, that's not fucking right, man. So I've kind of plugged him a lot and tried to get people involved, and he's gone from like 180 to about 400. So that's a big increase. I mean, it's it's still not what he deserves. He should be in the
I
thousands, not the
mean,
hundreds.
I agree with you completely, but I can only manage so many social media groups
Yeah, yeah,
for free. You know what I'm saying? And it's
yeah. That's
like
fine.
when people ask, I'll tell you exactly how to do it. This is how you do it. This is how you get to 1,000. This is how you get to 15 million or whatever. It's not really a super hard thing to do. It's just really time consuming if you
Yeah,
don't plan
that's
it
it, man.
out.
Exactly. And I don't have the time to be like a content creator and
Right.
all that shit, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can get by with like an hour of content a week. You just have to take that time, cut up them videos, and then set them up to go. Like it's the same video on all four venues every day at the same time. And then once you get into that constant habit of getting stuff
Yeah.
going, people will start following you out of
Yeah, that's
habit. You
true.
know what I'm saying? I mean, I
Yeah.
went from like nothing to I don't know 1,300 followers on my Facebook page,
Yeah.
and that's what 6 months maybe.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Big increase. It's
It-
a massive increase.
right. I mean, like I don't even mess with my Instagram account, and I have like 400 people following me there, and it's like
Yeah. It's reassuring, man. It means you must be doing something right.
I guess. I mean, like as these past couple of months been really bad for me on the social media front because a lot of the things that I'm doing I can't talk about, and it sucks. So it's like I'm kind of in a position where I can start to talk about them now, but I don't. It's boring shit. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I know what you mean, man.
I got loans cleared so that I can start doing this. I got to go meet with the architects, make sure my building matches code, make sure I can build it. It's like people like,
That's a sexy
right? It's
headline.
like, yeah, going to
Yeah.
sit in the office with some old dudes so I can stamp a piece of paper and say I'm good to go.
Yeah, exactly.
But
You're not going to live stream yourself going through a load of
right.
paperwork, you
I
know.
mean, it's super dope for me personally. It is a whole thing for me. Like I finally got my wife excited about it. You know what I'm saying? Like when the bank,
That's the hardest audience, man. That's the toughest
right? When the
crowd.
bank was like, "Yeah, sure, we'll give you 100 stacks." All of a sudden, she's like, "What?
Yeah. Fill me in. What's happening?
Wait. This is actually a thing now. This is not you just messing around in your office and making videos and shit." Like
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
"Yeah, this is a thing. They're cool with it, right? They
Yeah, yeah.
like what I do enough to be like, yeah,
Yeah. Here's
we'll
a ton
take
of
a
cash.
little bit of risk on you." It's
Yeah,
like, hey,
man. They must think you're
you
worth
need
it. You know,
another
that,
two
that's
hundred,
that says
three
a lot.
hundred thousand dollars, 30% interest in 2 years, something like that,
Shit.
right?
Mhm.
No, it's going through.
It's all a start, though, isn't it, man? It's
Oh
all a start.
man, if you knew how expensive things were, you'd feel bad for me. But like I got paperwork to sign a lease. I have to go through it and make sure that it's reasonable paperwork. I got to make
Yeah.
sure that it's not me signing away $600,000 for nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Because
It's big, big
yeah,
money. It's not sort of thing you kind of just walk into like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. It's like, it's not whatever, it's
right,
fine. This needs to be gone through
right,
carefully. And I need to
and
know, yeah.
it's like they've been dragging their feet about it because they're not really that sure about it. But when the bank's like, "Yeah, we got you. You have enough assets. You have enough income. You
Mm.
you can borrow this and just give it back whenever you're ready. Right. And now I'm like, well, I only need another $400,000 and we can do this other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. It's great, man. Listen, are you going to be all right with my sound like this? Because I'm not using a
Yeah,
mic. I'm just talking straight to the laptop. Is that okay?
that's substantially better than some of the interviews I've done. So
Oh, perfect. All right, that's
I
all I
mean,
need,
like
man.
realistically, it's I can do a lot in post. I
Yeah.
can do a lot. Some things I can't do, but I can do a lot. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I have another thing over here recording, and it's recording off of an area mic. It's not recording off of my condenser. This thing it's off this bad boy and my audio interface. So this is really clear and nice and not wispy, but sometimes the gain doesn't always match. So
Okay.
I use this
It's
one
like a
as a
backup.
reference because yours and mine aren't always on the same gain level either, and I might have to turn up the mic in order to get you loud enough to hear it. At which point I have to use this other setup to deafen me on this setup. It's a whole thing, and
It's the
it
whole thing,
requires a
man.
lot of tricks and tips and to get it right. And sometimes you still can't get it right. I had
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
had an interview where dude was connecting Bluetooth on his car during the interview, and I'm like,
Mm.
can't really fix that. No, there's not much I can do.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I mean, like
Shit,
the
that's
next set, I make sure to like, hey man, make sure you're in the house, make sure your phone's
yeah,
charged,
yeah. Stable
make sure we're
connection.
good, and that one went really well. That was I invited them down once we they're up in Minnesota. I invited them down once we get building to
Oh,
come.
cool, man.
So
Nice. Well, when I start making any money from any of this, I'd love to head over to the US, man.
man, you don't have to make money to do it. If you were making money to do it, you wouldn't be doing it. You'd be
Yeah,
teaching other
that's true.
people how to do it.
Yeah,
The people
right.
the
Should
people finding gold are not the ones making money. It's the ones selling shovels.
Yeah, that's very true, man. Very true. So should we get cracking then, mate? I've assured my wife that I will do my best to be done by
My
9:15.
wife has been texting me
And
this whole time, like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "It's on the
yeah, yeah.
calendar. You know what I'm doing. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
why
yeah,
you're
exactly,
texting me."
You just be like, read the calendar.
Right? Like,
Done.
do not disturb. So it's really interesting. Getting
Mm.
actually on track. It's really interesting the state of music these days. How we are making music at professional levels unheard of by people in private sector, people that just pop in and they want to make music. And having that ability to because you've made several tracks that have done really well.
Yeah.
Substantially better
Oh,
than you
thanks.
thought they were going to do for sure.
Way better than I thought. Yeah.
So like how do you take the next step? Where are you going from here?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I guess like putting out an album was a real bucket list thing for me. That wasn't a kind of like, oh, I'll see what I can do. That was like something I've been wanting to
Right,
do since
effort.
I was a teenager. So that was huge, man. And I guess exactly as you said, like I had in mind whatever happens with this, whatever the numbers are, that's my bucket list tick. And so in a way, like anything else is just gravy, you know what I mean? And so, but then when you start, I guess I would have just thought to just carry on writing, trying different things and whatever. But things are taking me in a different direction purely because of the kind of community that we're both lucky enough to be part of. Um, we're in touch with a lot of bands and a lot of artists and a lot of guys like us who are just making music and wanting to try new things and um, who aren't, we're not on a record label being told what to do. We're just figuring things out. And because of that, this year for me so far has been all about like collaborating with different people. Like at the moment, I think it's like 6 different tracks working on at the moment with 6 different people, and like it's been amazing, man. I think that the thing that's been that's felt good is when I first started making music, like like you said, man, I only just started doing it, and I didn't really know what was going to happen. I guess in the back of my mind, for someone of my age, which I will not state,
53,
like
53.
lower than that.
67. Oh, sorry,
67.
wrong
Oh, sorry,
direction.
wrong direction.
You can tell from the grays in my hair, man. But like, I wasn't ever going into any of this with like I'm gonna be making money, I'm gonna be doing tours, it was never that, man. It was about making the music. But I guess in the back of my mind, the big thing I had was like, are people gonna take you seriously? Are people gonna talk to you as if you're a
No,
musician?
they never
No,
do.
Or
they never
or
do.
you know what I mean? Right. And I was like,
You're,
yeah, no,
you're
no one's
either a
gonna do that.
You're
stranger
either
or
a
a friend,
stranger
and
or a
that's it.
friend, and that's it.
That's it, and I do. I'm a maths
Right.
teacher. You know what I mean? I'm not some like, young dude heading out into the world with a guitar in my hand and all, I'm like, I got a job and I got kids, man.
Plot twist, they
So
do
the
too.
They do too.
They're just
yeah,
ignoring
They're
exactly.
it.
just
That's
ignoring them.
yeah. Which I mean, it's easily done. But like, yeah, I guess for me that was that whole thing of people were reaching out to me, and people are like, oh, dude, I really liked your last track. What are you up to for the next couple of months? You got anything to work on? I was like, wow,
Right.
like that
Right.
that was really eye-opening. It kind of felt really
Mm-hmm.
validating as well. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're not putting out this kind of shitty music in a way that's making people be like, oh, that's nice. And there's people who are like, that sounds dope, man. Like, we should work on something together. And so yeah, this last couple of months, this for me, I've just been like a kind of like an excited schoolboy. I'm just like, oh shit, like I've got all these cool people, these really nice people who are like reaching out to me. I'm like, cool, man. So I've just been writing and tracking little bits and bobs, and yeah, I'm kind of hoping it's all gonna sort of take me in a direction I guess I wouldn't have thought of a couple of
So
months
that's
ago.
something I wanted to
So
actually
that's something I
ask you
wanted to
about.
actually ask you
So
about.
like
So
when
like
I write, I get an idea in my
I get
head,
an idea in
and
my
if I
head,
don't
and if I don't
immediately like
like
record it, write it,
record it,
do
write it,
something,
do
repeat it
something,
17
repeat it
times so it
17
stick,
times so it
it is
stick,
gone.
it is gone.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah,
I mean,
and
like,
I did
and
not know
I
that
did
this
not know that
was
this
a
was
prevalent
a
thing
prevalent
amongst
thing
writers.
amongst
Like, I
writers.
thought that my
Like,
brain was
I
just
thought that my
messed up.
brain was just
Like,
messed up.
oh,
Like,
I just came up with this whole
I
verse.
just
What
came
was
with this
that?
whole verse.
Uh,
What was that?
What?
I-
What just
yeah.
happened?
What just happened?
You get this cool
Right,
little melody in your head,
and
like
then it's
one in the
gone.
morning, you're like,
It's gone.
And then
yeah,
like I
And
was
like
actually
I was actually
so there's this guy.
so there's this guy.
He's a country artist.
He's a
He's
country artist.
a
He's a
Stephen Wilson Jr. I
Stephen
believe his
Wilson
name is.
Jr. I believe his name is.
Dude just popped out of
okay,
Dude just
nowhere,
popped out
and
of
he's got
nowhere,
like
and
the
he's got
most
like
unique
the
voice.
most unique voice.
And
And
he's got a song called
he's got a song
Patches.
called Patches.
And he's like,
mm.
"There's a
It's like
crack in
there's a
my
crack in my
windshield, and a crack in
windshield, and
my
crack in
skull."
my
And you're like,
skull. And you're like, what?
and it's like the whole
And it's
song
like
is
the whole
just
song
like
is just
very
like
down home
very down
mannerisms,
home
and it's
mannerisms.
like
And it's
Cool.
I
like
have no
I
idea
have
how
no
any of
idea
that
how
got written
any of that got
because
written.
like
Because
I would have wrote some of
I
that
would have
down
wrote
and I'd
some
have
of
been
that
like,
down and I'd have been like,
Yeah,
I don't know if he'll be
I don't
okay
know
with
if you'll be
hearing
okay with
this.
hearing this.
he's just
Right.
gone with it.
But
Right.
like his
But like
songs,
his
the melodies
songs,
are
the
really
melodies are
similar, like
really
dun,
similar.
dun,
Like
dun,
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 dun, dun,
dun,
dun.
dun,
And you're
dun, dun,
like,
dun. And you're like,
I could dig that.
I could dig
I
that.
would never would have picked
I
that
would
up
never would
on
have
my
picked that
own.
up on my
I
own.
would have stumbled
Yeah,
across. I
yeah,
would mess around with
I
guitar,
would
but I
mess
would have
around
never
with
just been
guitar, but I
like,
would have never just
you
been
know, it'd be
like,
cool to hear,
you know, it'd be cool to
you know.
hear.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I say that
But
to say
I
this.
say that to say this.
I was
I
singing a song to my
was
wife,
singing a song to my
laying in
wife,
bed at like
laying
one
in
o'clock
bed
in
at
the
like
morning,
1 o'clock in the morning,
and I came up
and
with
I came up
alternate
with
lyrics for that
alternate
song.
lyrics for that song.
And she was
Oh,
like,
And
okay.
she was like,
I really like that.
I really like
What
that.
was it?
What
And I
was it?
said,
And I said,
I have no idea. It's
I have no
gone.
idea. It's gone.
And she's like,
It's just like,
write it
son of a
down,
bitch,
write it down,
write it down,
figure it
go
out, write it
figure
down
it
because you
out,
need to
write it
remember
down
that.
because you need to remember that.
And I'm like,
And I'm
Dude,
like,
so I'm going to show you, man. So the way I deal with that, because yeah, I'm exactly the same. Like, so on my voice recorder on my phone,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
I'm just gonna see if I can scroll. Like, almost every single one of these is like a melody or a riff or something like that, it tends to come at
Right.
1 in the morning.
Right.
I tend to wake up my wife and be like, "Oh, check this," and she's just,
Listen to this.
"Shut the fuck up, I'm asleep." And so I'm like, "Okay." So then I've got to like sneak off into another little room with
And
my
try to
phone
sing.
and like
And
whistle.
see.
Do you know what I mean? And so I'm sitting there going like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And but that's how I do it. That's yeah. Like, I can hear people like sneaking on. Shh. You know, it's crazy, man. But that's literally like because
Oh
I'm
man, I
exactly the
thought I
same
was
as
the
you.
And I
only
thought I
one,
was the
man.
only one, man.
Oh no, dude, trust me, man. I don't know whether it's like a musician thing or just guys like us. But yeah,
I've discussed this
I've
at
discussed
length
this
with
at length
several other
with
people, and they're
several
like,
other people, and they're like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, man.
and
and I,
Because you never know when it's gonna come and when it's gonna hit you. And like, you know, if a riff or a melody or a line or a bar or whatever hits you and it happens to hit you when you've got a fucking pad and pen next to you and you've got 15 minutes where you don't need
right,
to do anything, that's
right,
great. You know,
right,
but that's
no,
not how it
it's never
works.
how it works.
It hits you when you're taking the washing upstairs and some weird melody comes into your head and you just start whistling it or whatever. And I mean, for me, because I started getting into music by playing the drums and the guitar, and a lot of the time, my songwriting process often starts with like just hearing a drum beat in my head, and then I'm kind of just walking around the house, like fucking around with chores and I don't know, hoovering and wiping shit up, and I'm just like, okay, okay. And then if I don't like either put my voice recorder and start bashing into like or get straight on the iPad into GarageBand and like
Recording it, right?
record it,
map it,
right.
yeah, then dude, it's gone. And the amount of times I've woken up in the morning thinking to myself, like, was it a dream? I swear I had a dream of this riff, and it was such a good riff, and it went like, ah, Lord,
Oh
and it's
man,
gone.
Uh,
And that could have been
there's
a
been a
hit.
couple
That
of
could have been.
times
there's
that
been
I
a
just
couple of
like
times that I just like
set up my Logic
set up
and
my
set
Logic
up my
and
keyboard,
set
play
up my
just like a
keyboard and
regular
play
old
just
grand
like a
piano,
regular old grand
and I'll
piano.
just hit record
And I'll
and
just hit
just
record
noodle
and just
around until I
noodle
find
around until I
something.
find
Yeah.
something.
But
But
those
those
are
those
rarely as
are
inspired
rarely
as
as
the stuff that just
inspired as the stuff
pops
that
in
just
your head
pops in
in
your
the middle of
head
counting
in
your
the middle of
medicine for your
counting your
pill counter.
medicine
You know
for
what
your
I'm
pill
saying?
counter. You know what I'm saying?
Or like
Yeah.
Or like
you cuss at your
you
kid and
cuss
it
at your
just happens to
kid
be
and then it just
rhythmically
happens to be
entertaining. You're like, you know
rhythmically
what?
entertaining. You're
I
like, you
should
know
write
what?
that one down.
I should write that one down.
Let me give you an example, man. Like one of the coolest things that I kind of managed to turn into a riff. It was really random. So I've had a lot of issues with my ankle
Oh,
as my
come
age,
on.
and
Oh, come
I was having I remember you said I was what 68.
on.
So like I was having an MRI, and I haven't had one in a long time, and they give you
Hmm.
headphones
Hmm.
and ear defenders and all this stuff, and they're like because the
Bro,
noises are
that whole
huge,
That
experience
whole
like gives me
experience
vertigo
like
and
gives me
like
crazy,
vertigo and
claustrophobia
like
is
right?
claustrophobia is
Because you're sitting there and they're like,
right,
don't move
right,
for
right,
25 minutes.
right,
You're just lying there, and especially because you're thinking like, don't even
right,
wiggle your toes because
right.
you're
And
gonna
then
you're
this
gonna
thing's
fuck
going
this whole thing
and then
up.
the thing's going
Take it still, right? And so and dude, this was only on my foot. Like I've done it on my head before. That's way more
yeah,
creepy because you're in a tube.
yeah,
This was like just sit still for 25 minutes or 30 minutes, which for me is hard enough as it is.
yeah.
But then I'm just gonna do all these crazy noises. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, it's like listening to a really shit beatboxer for like half an
when
hour, right?
Skrillex was an amateur.
When
But there was
Skrillex
one,
was an amateur.
right? So there was this one little moment where, for the first time, when I was sitting there, like kind of going quietly crazy, where there was a bit of rhythm to it rather than just all this stuff, and it basically just went like bah, 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 bah. And I lay there and my brain was just like, oh dude, if you put a drum beat to that, it would sound absolutely filthy. So I had to do this, like, because I didn't want to forget it.
You had to just repeat it over and
the
over and
whole
over
time
and
you
over
were
and
in
over.
I
there.
literally,
The
like,
whole
I
time you were
walked,
in there.
yeah, man, from the hospital to the car, from the car to my house, and then, I come and open the door, my kids are like, and I'm like, "Shh, not now."
Get out
I
the
move them
way.
over, get the iPad out, and I'm like, "How can I find a sound that's gonna make that bassy
It's a sine wave at 120
It's a sine
megahertz.
wave at 120 megahertz.
Right, and then you put the drum beat on it, and then suddenly you're like, "Oh, that sounds so good. It sounds so good." And if I hadn't had a fucking MRI on my ankle, that sound wouldn't have ever hit my head, man. So yeah, inspiration hits at weird times, you know. Whether I do anything with that song, I don't know, but like I
Bro,
like
you never
it.
know, man.
Bro,
You never know.
man.
I've made
I've made
some crazy shit,
some
and
crazy shit.
I
And
have like
I
little
just have
15-second
little
clips just
15-second
stuck all up in
clips
my
just
phone,
stuck all
and
up in
I'm
my
like,
phone.
this
And
would be
I'm like,
dope if I could
this
find
would be
somebody
dope
that fits
if I
that
could
vibe.
find somebody that
And a
fits
lot
that
of
vibe.
stuff,
And a lot of
people
stuff
just ain't down
people
for. You
just
know what I'm
ain't
saying?
down for. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
my little
Like
Halloween thing that I
my
put
little
out. I don't know if
Halloween
you
thing
heard
that
it.
I
It's just
put
like a
out.
little
I don't know if you heard it. It's just like a
15
little
second.
15
I got your
second.
soul
I
in my
so
pocket.
in my
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
Like
heard
a
that,
lot of
man.
people were like,
Like
"That's
a lot of people
dope."
were like,
I
"That's
don't know how to
dope."
write a song to that.
Mm.
I don't know how to write a song to that though.
Yeah, I because I get that. I get that, and I think, I mean, that's one of the things that's kind of interesting about all of this stuff is like, I mean, like, when the song that me and you worked on together, I'd listened to a lot of your tracks, and I loved the energy. I loved the atmosphere. I loved the kind of different sounds, and I was kind of like, I can get into this. I can listen to this while I'm doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But in terms of something that I was like, what could I put lyrics to? Like, and what's something that's in the right mood that I would want to write on that vibe? And yeah, and then I heard that one, and I was like, that's the one, And so I guess again, I mean, it's probably a bit
You
like the
know,
whole inspiration thing. Sometimes you
what's
can listen to
crazy? Like
stuff and be
all of
like,
the super
it's cool.
hard shit,
all of the
all
super
of it,
hard shit, all of it.
nobody gives a fuck about that.
Nobody
They
gives a
like
fuck
the
about that.
inside vibes,
They
like
like
just
the
the
inside
fucking the
vibes.
chill,
Like
like
just the fucking the
almost
chilled, like almost
relaxing,
relax
Yeah,
relax
like
track. I guess
lo-fi.
relax
I don't
track.
really, I
I
don't really. I
guess.
mean,
I don't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's
I
got a
mean,
trap beat to it, but
it's got a
it's
trap
like
beat to it, but it's
105 BPM.
it's
It's
like
not
105
super super
BPM. It's not
aggressive,
super
and like
aggressive.
that by far has been
Yeah.
like
And like that by far
my
has been
most
like
popular track.
my most popular track.
Yeah, but you know what, man? I think the thing is because like the like music industry, and like most people just have Spotify playing, or they just have this on and whatever while they're just doing stuff. I think that whole kind of like lo-fi, like I don't know, man, 20 years ago or something like that. If you'd played someone a load of like
Well,
lo-fi
it was all
kind of music,
lo-fi
But
20
really
it
years
was
ago.
all
chill.
lo-fi 20
Like the
years
best
ago.
you got was like
Like the best you
right.
got
I'm
was
like a
like
I was like the
techno
best
fan.
you
I was
got
like,
was like
yeah, I
32
heard
best you
music.
got was like 32
MP3s that weren't scratchy. You know what I'm
MP3s
saying?
that weren't scratchy. You know
My
what I'm saying?
kids
Okay,
My
okay.
didn't know what
kids
the
didn't
antenna,
know what
the interference
antenna,
noises when
the
it's not
interference
quite
noises
in tune. That
when it's not quite in tune. That
yeah, they're like, what's that
Yeah,
sound?
yeah,
I've never
yeah.
heard
yeah,
that
they're like,
before.
what's that
I'm
sound? I've never
like,
heard that
have we
before.
never turned the
I'm like,
radio on
have
for
we never
you?
turned the radio on for you?
You know, it's like
What's on
everything's been
radio?
streaming.
It's like
Everything's
everything's
like
been
super
streaming.
high def,
Everything's like super high
44 or
def,
48 or
44 or
96,
48
and
or
everything is
96,
super high
and
fidelity. All the
everything is
car
super
systems
high
in your
fidelity.
cars got
All
like
the car
14
systems in your
speakers in the
cars got
sub
like
and
14
everything.
speakers in the
And
sub
it's
and
like just
everything.
listening
And it's
to
like just
like a
listening
two
to
speaker truck,
like a
you know,
two
in a
speaker
work
truck,
truck,
in a
listening to
work
the
truck,
radio.
listening
Like
to the
that
radio.
is the
Like
level that
that
lo-fi
is the
aspires
level
to
that
drop
lo-fi
down to.
aspires to
You know what I'm
drop down
saying?
to. You know
So
what
Yeah.
I'm
like,
saying? So like
It's kind of nice,
right.
man. It's kind of pure, like,
It's very
it's
it's
about the
nostalgic,
sound and
yeah.
the energy.
nostalgic, yeah.
But
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I think it's a big thing now in the sense that people just like people like me are the kind of people where I have music on
oh yeah.
all the time when I'm doing whatever.
Oh yeah.
I have music on when I'm in the shower, when I'm cooking and things like that. And I think in the days where you had your like stereo, with your CD player and stuff like that, like if the stereo wasn't in the room you were in,
Right.
you weren't listening to music.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whereas now we're listening to
To be
music all the
fair,
time because
You
To
turn
be
on that
fair,
big ass stereo
you turn on that
downstairs
big
that
ass
your mama
stereo
wouldn't let you pick
downstairs that your
music
mama
on.
wouldn't let you pick
You listen to music all through the
on.
house,
You
right?
listen
you
to
can hear
music
that
all through the
anywhere.
house.
It was
Right.
Barry White
It was
or
Barry
Billy
White
Ocean
or Billy Ocean
Yeah.
or
You
Right,
could tell
right.
by the vibrations
You
of
know
the
what I'm
house
saying?
the track was playing.
Lionel
you know
Richie
what I'm
was
saying?
getting it
Lionel
in, you know
Richie
what I'm
was getting
saying?
it in. You
But
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but
I think people more have like music on just all the time. And if you have music on all the time, you don't necessarily want like
yeah.
words all the time. Sometimes you're just doing something chill. And so yeah, I think a lot of that really mellow, lo-fi kind of stuff is almost like providing a soundtrack for people while they're just going about their daily business. And that's kind of
Theme
cool,
music.
man. It's nice. It's like a
Theme
whole
music.
yeah. It's theme music for I'm putting butter on my
for
toast.
living life. It's theme music.
for living life.
It's like what song would play
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
walked
exactly.
into the
What song
room?
would play
In the
if you were on
laundry.
an room if you were on
Probably
an anime?
Inside Vibes because I'm that
Probably
lazy.
Inside Vibes because I'm that lazy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It depends what kind of
I mean,
anime
like
entrance you're talking about,
those
man. I mean, if
intro
I
songs are supposed to match your
Those intro
personality.
songs are supposed
You
to
know,
match your personality.
like I am
You know,
secret.
like
I am secretly type A,
I'm
but I've
secretly
always
type
been
A,
really relaxed
but
and
I've
on the
always been
level.
really
So
relaxed and on the
I
level.
use music
So
as my
I use music as
catharsis to
my
kind of relieve that
catharsis to
internal
kind of
tension that
relieve
I
that
hide
internal
from people.
tension that I
So
hide from people.
yeah.
when I drove around as a
When
kid,
I
because I
drove
had a
around
bunch
as
of
a
stupid
kid,
cars
because I
and
had a bunch
bikes
of
and
stupid
shit,
cars and
you know,
bikes and
I would
shit,
always have
I would always have
the darkness
like the
or
darkness
or
or
Yeah.
or
like Paul Oakenfold
or like Paul Oakenfold
or
or
right,
That's
right,
energy, man.
or
That's
like
big.
anything from like
right,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or
Timberland
like anything
or
from like Timberland
just straight
or
ratchet shit. You know,
straight
whatever it
ratchet
was,
shit. You know,
it
whatever it
was
was,
140
it was
BPM. The
140
subs were
BPM.
throwing the
The
whole thing,
subs were throwing the
and I
whole
became an
thing,
adult, and I was
Yeah.
and I
like,
became an
I don't
adult,
need all
and I
this
was like,
anymore.
I don't need all this anymore.
But every once in a
Yeah.
while,
But
I
every
go
once in a
out there and I
while,
turn up the bass and I
I'll
listen
go
to
out
it
there
and I
and I turn up
remember
the
what it's
bass and I
like to
listen to it
really
and I
piss off
remember
my
what it's
parents
like
again.
to really piss off
Yeah.
my parents again.
Yeah. I think I get a weird experience of listening to music in the sense that I live in a household with there's four of us and there's stuff we can all agree on, but we do have like fundamentally pretty different music taste. There's some crossover. So like if we're in a car and it's me, my wife, and my kids, like I can put on Sleep Token and I can get away with that. So that's fine. I can put on Skin Dread, which is like a ragga metal band, right? I can put that shit on. Everybody's happy. It gets a bit trickier after that. Oh, and Siamese. I have to give a shout out to Siamese, this amazing Danish band. We can listen to them. But if I want to listen to my like, technical deathcore and I just want to listen to someone who sounds like they're strangling a demon for half an hour. Like
Right.
I can't really do that while everybody else is around because everyone's like, turn that shit off, man. It's too much. Yeah.
It's the complete opposite for
So
me. There's
it's the
4
complete
kids
opposite
here,
for me. There's 4 kids
and
here,
the only
and
way we
the
listen to
only
music
way
is we
we
listen
listen to
to
music is we
shit like
listen
Julie and the
to
Phantoms
shit like Julie and the Phantoms
or like the Coco
or
Melon theme song or some
like the
ridiculous
Coco
shit like
Melon
that.
theme song or some ridiculous shit
Or
like that.
I play music
Or
until
I
I hear a
play
bunch of cuss words
music
and I have to cut it
until I
off
hear a bunch
because
of
they
cuss
all
words
just
and I have to
repeat
cut it off
everything.
because
It's
they
like
all
they all
repeat
love them some
everything. It's
Weekend
like
and
they
some
all
Post
love them some
Malone,
Weekend
and
and
then
some
they get to
Post
repeating the
Malone,
naughty words, and
Yeah.
and they get to
I just
repeating the
roll my
naughty words,
kids.
and I'm like, I just wrote.
Hold on. Have you ever done the thing that I do where you really want them to hear a song, but you know there's some swearing in it, but you know exactly where it is. And so every time one of those words is coming up, you just start going, and you just kind of cough over it.
I can't cough enough for Post Malone,
It's
man.
I
literally
can't cough enough for Post Malone, man.
no, that's true.
Right.
That's true. You have to have some kind
Right.
of a real
Just
coughing
the
fit.
whole song just be coughing it up.
Just the whole song, just be coughing it up.
Mate, you know, I've got there's two songs I've put out which
I believe
my
that.
kids haven't heard.
I believe.
Like, yeah, because and it's like there's particularly the last one, dude. Like, there's a lot of swearing in that, and it's like I have to weigh up how much do I want my kids to hear it versus the how much do I want to hear my kids repeat it.
Right.
And so in the end, I'm like, there's
my
no
kids
song. I
love
don't know
my
what you're talking
instrumental
about.
tracks.
My kids love my
because they get to
instrumental
tell
tracks.
people my daddy's gonna step on Pandora. My daddy's gonna song on Spotify. You know what I'm saying? My daddy's got a YouTube channel.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm like, yeah, cool, that's great.
And I'm like, yeah,
but,
cool, that's great.
That's not the whole purpose behind this. Is for you to be
not the whole
bragging.
purpose behind this.
You know what I'm
is for you to be
saying?
bragging.
It's like
Right.
my
It's
oldest,
like
he's got
my
you know,
oldest.
he's 11 years old. he's
11
got
years old.
people in his
He's
group
got
that know who
people
I
in
am
his
on a
group that
basic
know who I
level
am
of
on a
his
basic
dad's a
level
musician.
of
His dad's got a bunch
his
of
dad's musician.
instruments and
His
he
dad's
plays
got a
music
bunch
and
of
records it and
instruments
puts it
and
on
he
YouTube.
plays music and records it and puts it
Cool.
on YouTube.
So they come and visit him.
That's cool, man.
So they come and
try to
visit
hang out with
him,
me, which is
and
really
then try to
weird
hang out with
because
me, which is really
I
weird.
don't want to hang out with him.
That's
I sure
cool,
shit
yeah.
don't
I don't
want
want
to
to hang out with him.
You know
I
what I'm
sure shit
saying?
don't want to hang out with
Because
them.
he's trying
you
to
know what I'm
feign
saying?
interest in
Yeah.
music.
Because he's trying to feign
his
interest in
friends are
music.
really
because
interested in
his
music.
friends are
And
really
I'm
interested
like
in
super
music.
geek with it
Yeah,
because I'm like,
And
yeah,
I'm
I'll share
like
anything
super
with
geek
you,
with it because
bro.
I'm like, yeah, I'll
Okay, you
share
want to try this
anything with
guitar?
you,
You want to
bro.
try this bass?
Okay,
You
you
want to
want to
play
try
this
this
piano?
guitar? You want to try
Hey,
this
whatever
bass?
it
You want to play
is,
this
come
piano?
on with it.
Hey,
If
whatever it
you
is,
have a
come
genuine
on with it.
interest with you,
If you
I
have a
will go to
genuine
the ends of
interest with you,
earth to make sure
I
that
will go to the
you
ends of earth
continue
to
to be
make sure that
inspired
you
to
continue
play
to be
music.
inspired to
And
play
this kid be
music.
like,
Definitely.
let's go do
And
something
this
else,
kid be like,
bro.
let's go do something else, bro.
I'm like, this same
I'm
kid turned around
like,
and asked me for a
this same kid
trombone
turned
so
around
he
and
can
asked me
play in the
for a
band in middle
trombone so
school.
he can play
A
in the band in
trombone,
middle school.
right?
A
A
trombone,
trombone.
right?
Wow,
Right, and
that's
I'm like,
weirdly specific.
Right.
I
And I'm
mean, I
like,
guess whatever. I don't really care.
I guess whatever.
Did
I
you
don't really
did you
care.
go out and
No,
like
no, no.
show all
He
the
came
different
home
instruments? Like,
No,
asking
no,
for
no.
I've
it.
got one of
He came
these.
home
I've
asking
got
for it.
one
He's
of
like,
these.
yeah.
He came
It
home
just sounded
asking
the
for it. He's like,
coolest.
yeah. It just
I'm
sounded the
like,
coolest. I'm like,
I mean, I on the one hand, the part of me is thinking like, yeah, you know, we all
yeah,
find
yeah.
inspiration in different
yeah,
places.
yeah.
That's really cool. That kid might end up being I don't know what you call them, a
He's a
tromboner,
trombonist.
He's a
The
trombonist.
whatever,
trombonist
the
of the family.
trombonist,
The
whatever. Like,
trombonist of the
but
family.
at the same time, you know, like,
Yeah,
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 that's
yeah.
that's an interesting instinct, man. Like,
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, do you know what, man? It's a bit like, for me, one of the kind of eternal questions I'm always so interested by is how like two people, three people, 1,000 people can hear the same piece of music, and almost like on a genetic level, some people are just gonna be like, "Oh
Yeah.
my
And then
god,"
some
and they
people are
just
like, oh my
they're
God.
moving, and then
Some people,
other people are like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god." Yeah, like it's weird, man. I guess some people hear the trombone and think this is my
No.
calling in life.
This
No.
dude
That's not been my
apparently
experience.
tried
But
to tell his music
apparently
teacher that
tried
he would just
to
bring
tell his
one of the
music teacher that
guitars
he would just
from his
bring
house.
one of the guitars from his house.
He's like, we don't play those in this band. We play
He's like, we don't play those in this band. We play
like
instruments.
woodwinds
We play
and percussions
like
and
woodwinds
brass
and
instruments.
percussions.
He's like, okay, cool.
brass instruments.
Trombone it is. I'm
He's
like,
okay, cool. Trombone it is.
and like
I'm
he
like,
came home and told me about it. I'm like,
and
bro,
like he came home and told me about it.
what
I'm
the
like,
fuck?
bro, what the
I think you
fuck?
might be the first person in the world who ever said
Right.
the phrase
And it's
trombone
like,
it is.
Right.
I mean,
Like
in
all
sixth
these things.
grade, I played
I
the
mean,
saxophone. I played
in
the
sixth
alto
grade, I
saxophone. My
played the
brother played the
saxophone. I played the
clarinet.
alto saxophone.
You
My
know,
brother played
I'm
the
all
clarinet.
for it.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm all
It
Saxophone is
is the
sexy though,
worst
man.
instrument
Saxophone
ever
is
to
sexy,
learn
you
how to
know it
play.
is.
first instrument
Like
ever to learn.
I had asthma as a kid,
I
and they
had
don't
asthma
tell
as a
you
kid,
right.
and
They don't tell you,
Fuck.
hey man, you gotta blow
they
into this
don't tell you,
instrument
hey man, you
constantly.
gotta blow into this
And it's not
instrument
like
constantly.
you got to like huff
And it's
into
not
it
like
to make any
you
kind
got
of
to like
noise.
huff into it to
And
make any
like,
kind of noise.
I'll be
And
honest,
like,
man. I think if I was putting instruments in front of asthmatic people, like
right,
I
you
would
be
just
like, hey
keep the
man, you
woodwind
just need to
stuff
be on
in
the
the
flute,
bar.
man.
be like,
Just
hey
follow
man,
me on the flute.
you just need to be on the flute, man. Just
Right.
Here's
Play
a
the drums,
guitar.
man. Play the
Here's
drums.
a
You don't get to
triangle.
blow on shit.
Shit.
play the
You know what I'm
drums, man.
saying?
Play the drums. You ain't get to blow on shit.
But
You know what I'm
like,
saying?
you know, I played
But
saxophone
like,
for like 2
I played
years,
saxophone
and
for
it was
like
dope.
2 years.
You know, I
And
learned a new
it was dope.
instrument.
You
Never
know,
do it
I learned a
again.
new
Like you can
instrument.
have me
Never
saxophone
do
right
it
now, but
again. Like you can have me
I ain't
saxophone right
doing
now,
shit.
but
But like,
I ain't doing it.
But I bet back
right.
then you were doing
So
some
like, you
smooth
know,
jazz.
through the
Right.
process of
So
all this, I
like,
played the trumpet, I
through the
played the
process of all
trombone,
this,
I
I
played the
played the trumpet,
clarinet.
I
You know,
played
we
the
all
trombone,
swapped
I played
instruments.
the
We all tried to
clarinet.
figure out
You
what
know,
we
we
really
all
liked.
swapped instruments. We all tried to figure out what we
And the
really liked.
trumpet
Yeah.
and trombone are like the
And the
hardest
trumpet and
instruments in the
trombone are like
fucking
the
play.
hardest
Like if you've
instruments
never
in the
done
world.
it, if you have no
Like if you've never
musical
done it,
acumen,
if you have
you
no
don't realize
musical
that
acumen, you don't realize
it
that
changes the octaves of your music.
it
This
changes the
this does
octaves of your
nothing.
music.
I mean, like
This
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
this
not like
does
1,
nothing.
2, 3,
I
4,
mean,
5.
like
It's like
it's not
1,
like 1,
2,
2,
3,
3,
4,
4, 5.
5,
It's like
6, 7,
1,
8,
2, 3,
and
4,
then
5, 6,
and then
7,
you're
8.
blowing
Yeah, yeah.
you're
And then
blowing bubbles into the mouthpiece
you're
to change
blowing
your
bubbles
octave.
into the mouthpiece
And
to
it's
change
like
your octave.
it's like, you know,
And it's like It's like
It sounds to me, it's almost like
Yeah, it's a
imagine
fretless
playing like a
trumpet. That's what it
fretless.
is. It's a
yeah, it's
fretless
a
trumpet.
trumpet.
It's exactly what
Yeah,
it
like
is.
It's a
yeah.
fretless trumpet. It's exactly what it is.
It's fretless, and you have to be continually blowing into it for it to make a sound.
And it's like,
Right.
like
It's
a
crazy,
trumpet's
man.
got
And
three,
you know,
three
like
or four
a
valves.
trumpet's got three or four
Four
valves.
valves. And you combine those valves to change
and you combine
the
those
path
valves
to make your
the
notes.
path to make your
Trombone, you're doing it all like this.
trombone.
And
You're
then
doing it
you
all
adjust
like
your
this.
mouthpiece to change
And
whatever
then you
octave you're in.
adjust your mouthpiece
I'm
to
like, that
change
is
whatever octave you're
literally
in.
the hardest
I'm
shit
like,
in the
that
world
is
to master.
literally the hardest shit in the world to
For a
That's a lot of
kid
work,
that didn't
man.
want to play the guitar
For a
because he
kid
just
that
wanted
didn't want to play the guitar because he
He's
just
like,
wanted
yeah,
to
trombone. I'm like,
Yeah,
He's like, yeah, trombone. I'm like,
The first month
that's
is
a very
$5.
interesting
We're gonna
choice.
find out how
the
far
first
this
month is
$5 gonna go.
$5.
You
We're
might
gonna
go
find out
choir,
how far
bro.
this $5
Just start
is gonna
singing
go.
with
We
your
might
voice.
go
You know
choir,
what I'm saying?
bro. Just start singing
Stand
with
in the
your
back and
voice.
be like,
You know what I'm saying?
just
Stand in
whatever.
the back and be like.
I mean, like, I'm
Whatever.
all for it. I'm
I'm
all for
it.
you
I'm all
pursuing
for
any
it.
musical
Or
thing that you want to
pursuing
do.
any musical thing that you want to do.
But that's a
Yeah.
little rough. Just a
But
little
that's a
rough.
little rough.
Yeah.
Right. I'm
You
all
made an
for it.
interesting choice.
Right.
And
I'm all
I mean,
for
like,
it.
look me
And
dead in my face, be like,
I
buy
mean,
me
like,
$2,000
look me
trombone.
dead in my face, be
I'm
like,
like,
buy me $2,000 trombone. I'm like,
Yeah,
right.
it's got
Right.
some serious
Right.
cojones.
Right.
So it's
Right.
like,
Right.
you'll just front me up the
Monthly
cash for
payments,
that, right?
Right. Just monthly payment.
And
right?
I'm hesitant
And
because
I'm
it's a
hesitant
train wreck. I
because
know it is.
it's
I
a
don't know
train
if I
wreck.
want to
I
listen
know
to
it
it get to
is.
practice the
I don't know if I
trombone.
want to listen to it get
I'm
practice.
gonna put them outside with the dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Put them outside with the dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You can just
Put 'em in soundproof room.
kill
Right,
everything with everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Just kill everything with
When we get the
everybody else,
practice area open, you just go in there and I don't
When we get the
have to
practice
hear you.
area open, you just go in
And
there.
then I'll
I
go
don't
in
wanna
there
have
and
to
he'd be
hear
like,
you.
trying to play
Yeah.
Switch or
And then I'll
something
go in
instead of
there and he'd be like
practicing.
trying to play.
But you
Switch
couldn't
or
hear
something
me,
instead
so
of
how was I
practicing.
supposed to know?
Well, you couldn't hear me, so how was I supposed to know?
That would be my luck.
That
What's
would be my luck.
Yeah.
What's
It's interesting, man. Like, I mean, like I've kind of wanted to get my kids into learning an instrument. I think it is good. It doesn't really matter what it is, man. It could be a recorder or a guitar or whatever. Like, anything that gives you a chance to express yourself is a good
100%.
thing, even if it is a trombone.
100%.
But like, so like, I mean, my son's tried the drums a bit. He's now getting into the guitar. I think for him, getting into guitar music has helped.
Yeah.
Like, he got super into like Nirvana and Green Day recently, which is fine. That's absolutely fine with me. Like, to me, I'm like,
It's a gateway.
it's a
drug.
gateway. I'm waiting until he's like, yeah, like I'm waiting until he turns around and he's like, I think I need some Cannibal
Put
Corpse.
him on to
Like,
some.
okay, now we can
Put
talk.
him on to some.
But you know,
Put him
after that is
on some polyphony.
Yeah. Tim Henson. Put him on some Tim Henson.
yeah.
Tim Henson. Put him on some Tim Henson. Like, hey, play that.
We'll get I mean, I have surrounded my kids with lots of different types of music as they're growing up. I've tried not to like push them too much towards anything. Dragon Force, man, he's gonna need some time to build up to that.
Do this. And you hit your face against the guitar, and then it makes that noise.
And you hit your face against the guitar, and then it makes that noise.
I mean, I'd love for that to be true. You know, in which case I would be a much better guitarist than I am. I mean, it's good. I think in the end, the guitar's probably going to sit with him for a bit. I think the drums, it worked for a bit. He kind of liked the feel of it and stuff. And he's like me, he doesn't sit still for particularly long. But I think, again, it's that inspiration thing. I think he looks at people like,
play with
you know,
when he gets good enough to play with you, that's when it's going to get big.
That's when it's going to get a bit tricky as well, because I'm going to be
that's
like,
the thing about it.
This is my thing.
Like, kids are all about emulating what they see.
Like, kids are all about emulating what they see.
If you perform and you playing with them,
if
it gives them inspiration
and you
to be
playing
better.
with them, gives them
Then
inspiration.
I mean, it kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
Like it
kind of is what it is.
I got this.
And that's a good thing, man. That's definitely good.
And like all of a sudden, my kids are podcasting.
Yeah.
And like all of a sudden, my kids are
because I'm like, yeah, I got to set it up. I got to make sure everything works.
I'm like, yeah, I got to set it up. I got to make
where
sure
all my levels are gonna sit when I record or whatever.
Where all my levels
and they're like,
when I record. And they're
you're gonna walk past the room and they're gonna be sitting there like mic checking and stuff.
Right.
Zoom
like
mics and
I got
stuff.
a bunch
they're not
of
like
Zoom
audio
mics
file
and
quality, but they're good enough to record voices
audio file quality, but they're good enough to record voices
and love it.
And
in so
I
much that they're
love it.
doing it with me.
Yeah.
Because
In
like I'm
so
like, hey,
much
y'all go
that
in
they're
there
doing it
record some
with me.
shit, and
Cause
they're like,
I'm like, hey, y'all go in there record some shit, and they're
right,
like,
don't want to do that no more.
And we come to.
right.
It's cool, man. And I think, it's like you said, like that emulation thing is really important. And I guess in my mind as well, what's kind of nice is like I don't know if you'd call it a mistake. I kind of, because I started learning the guitar and then discovered the drums and got all excited by that. I and then enjoyed singing as well and stuff like that. I like, that whole kind of thing of being a jack of all trades and a master of none. Like that's me,
But it's
and
better to be
it has
skilled
pros and cons.
But
than a
it's
master
better
of
to be
one.
skilled than a master of one.
You got to use the whole quote if you're going to use
I
the
don't know,
quote.
man. That's the
You got to
thing.
use
It's
the whole quote if you're going to use the quote.
It's a jack of all
okay.
trades and a
Yeah,
master of
that
none.
does
but
make
it's
sense.
substantially
I
better than
guess.
being
It's a master of
one.
none, but it's substantially better than being master of one.
Yeah. And that's where the jury's out. Like, because I do feel that sometimes. When I think, for example, like when I'm putting a song together and I think of, that 1 a.m. guitar riff and I'm sitting there whistling into my phone in the toilet, like I know I want to be able to play that, but I don't physically have the skill. And that's one of the problems with being a jack of all trades is that you're not amazing at any of the things you do.
So there's kind of that.
And so there is,
thing with that,
but
because
there's kind of
like
there's
so like
a thing with that.
I learned
because like
on
so
piano.
like
I learned
on
classical
piano.
I learned
Like
jazz
I
piano.
learned
That's where I got my
classical
music
piano.
trade.
I learned jazz
So
piano.
when I
That's
went to
where I
pick up
got my
other
music trade.
instruments, it was
Yeah.
how
When
do
I
I
went to pick up
translate
other
this into that?
instruments, it was how do I
And
translate
then,
this into that?
well, how do I play that?
And
How
then,
do I play this?
well, how do
And
I
it's
play
like
that?
because
How do I
of
play this? And
my
it's like
structure,
because of
I didn't
my
necessarily
structure,
play things the
I
way
didn't
people play
necessarily play
things
things the
as
way
they started out as
people
being
play things
guitarists or
right.
as they
how
started
they
out as
started
being
taking guitar
guitarists
lessons or whatever.
or how if they started
Like
taking guitar
I took
lessons or
classical guitar
whatever.
lessons when I was in
Like
college
I
because
took
I
classical
wanted
guitar lessons when I was in
that
college
formal.
because I
Hey,
wanted
am I missing
that
anything?
formal.
Is
Hey,
is
am I
my finger
missing
style wrong?
anything?
And
Is
all of
is
that
my
dude was like,
finger
yeah, you
style
do whatever,
wrong?
just play the music.
And all of that dude
And
was like, yeah, you
like,
do whatever, just play the music.
I
And
mean,
like,
and then when it
That's
comes down
reassuring
to
though,
it,
right?
like,
I mean, like,
I
and then
can
when it comes
scale, I can
down to
press,
it,
I can
like,
move music, I know
I
how the
can
capo
scale,
works,
I
I
can
move stuff
press, I can
around.
move music, I know how the
But
capo
like, if
works, I
you're
move
like, hey
stuff
man,
around.
play some Shania
Mm.
Twain, I'm
But
like,
like,
I
if
don't
you're like, hey
fucking
man,
is.
play some Shania Twain,
But
I'd be like, I
like,
don't
when I
fuck that
wanted to
is.
learn how to play
But like,
Hotel
when I wanted to
California
learn
by the
how to play
Eagles, it was like, okay,
Hotel
so here's your chord
California by
set,
the
this is
Eagles,
this,
it
this
was
is
like,
this,
okay,
this is
so
this.
here's your chord set,
And
this is this,
then,
this is this, this is
Yeah.
this.
right, and then I played
And
it,
You
and
can
then I
just
played it,
apply
and I
what you
played
know.
it, I
Right,
played
and
it,
then
I
I
played
played
it, I
it,
played it,
and
and
then I
eventually
played
I
it,
was
and I
able to
played
play
it,
the
and I played it,
song.
and played it, and played it, and
That
eventually I
doesn't
was
mean I
able to play
know
the
all
song.
of the Eagles
Mm.
It doesn't
repertoire.
mean I know
It doesn't
all
mean
of
I
the
know the
Eagles
theory
repertoire. It
that got that whole
doesn't mean I
thing
know the
going.
theory
It
that got
does
that whole
mean
thing going.
that I know that
It
if I
does
wanted to learn a
mean
song,
that I
I
know
can
that if
learn
I
it,
wanted to learn a
no matter
song,
how complicated
I
it
Yeah.
can learn
is.
it,
You
no matter
just
how
build on what you
complicated it
know, and then
is.
you practice
You
Right.
until
just build
you
on what you
can do
know,
it.
and then you practice until you can do it.
So that's the thing. So that's the plus side of being a jack of all trades is you can apply that stuff and
Do
you can be
whatever I
like, I
want,
have enough
whatever I
skill
need to
to
do,
be able to
Whatever
do
I
this. Yeah.
whatever I need to do.
And that's what I mean is that's where the jury's out because like like it does suck sometimes when you think like I can't sing this melody the way I'd want to be able to sing it and you think shit man if I was a better singer
drop
I
that
could do
shit
it.
in octave and call it
So you
good.
do have that, and a
That
better
shit in
guitarist to
octave
be
and
able
call
to.
it good.
Yeah. So that's the thing. And I guess for me, in all honesty, as much as I would love to be a master of singing or a master on the guitar, whatever, actually being able to play a few different things. Like I can play the guitar, I can play the drums, I can sing okay. And now I'm kind of getting a hang of the keyboard a little bit. Like I mean, I wouldn't exactly go and play like
I've
a
been playing
concert
keyboard
on
my
a
whole life.
keyboard or
I'm
whatever
not
because
gonna
I'd
go play
sound like
I've been
balls.
playing the keyboard
So
my
don't
whole
even
life.
worry about
I'm
that
not gonna
shit.
go play a
Like
concert on a keyboard.
if somebody would
Don't
say,
even
"What
worry about that
instrument are
shit.
you the best
Like
at?" I'd be
if
like,
somebody would say, "What
hands down, I
instrument
can
are
play
you
the
the
piano.
best at?" I'd be
Like
like,
it's not
hands
even a
down, I can
question of
play the
my
piano.
abilities.
Like
And they're like,
it's
"Hey,
not
so
even
you
a
want to go
question of my
Carnegie?" I'm like,
abilities. And they're like, "Hey, so you want to go to
I mean,
Carnegie?" I'm
like
like,
I've performed
Like,
in front of
no, no.
people
I
on the
mean, like
piano.
I've
It is the most
performed in front
nerve-wracking
of
thing that
people
I've
on
ever
the
done my
piano, and
whole
it's the
life.
most nerve-wracking thing that
And
I've ever done
here's
in
the
my
shit:
whole life.
when they start teaching how
And
to
here's
play
the
the
shit:
piano, like when you're little,
when they start teaching how to play the piano, like
it's
when you're little,
memorization. It's you
it's
learn how it
it's
goes, but
memorization.
you play
It's
the
you
song
learn
until
how
you
it
can play the
goes,
song
but
perfectly.
you play the
And it doesn't
song
matter
until
how
you can
long the
play the
song
song
is.
perfectly.
If you
It
miss
doesn't
one
matter how
note,
long the song
start the
is.
whole shit back
If
over.
you miss
And
one
you
note,
play it until you can play the
start the
whole
whole shit
song
back over.
perfectly.
And you
Yeah.
play it
Which
until you play
is
the whole
simple
song
if it's
perfectly.
Twinkle Twinkle Little
Which
Stars.
is
Not
simple
the
if it's
same when
Twinkle
it's
Twinkle
for
Little
Elise. It's
Stars.
not the same
It's
when it's
not
the
the
Moonlight
same when
Sonata.
it's
It's
for
not the
Elise. It's
same
not the same when
when
it's
it's
the Moonlight
like
Sonata. It's not the
any
same
of these like
Yeah.
when it's
you know
like
experimental
any of
jazz
these
pieces
like
where it all
you
sounds like
know
it's the wrong notes
experimental
and none
jazz
of it
pieces
matches.
where it all sounds like it's the
But
wrong notes
like
and none of it matches.
to be able to play
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that
But
level
like
requires a
to be
whole
able to
different
play on that
level
level
of
requires a whole
practice
different
that
level
I'm not
of
willing to dedicate my
practice.
adult life to because
I'm not
my
willing to
time is
dedicate my
limited
adult
and
life
I'm
to
not
because
really trying to
my
give up
time is
6-7
limited
hours a
and I'm
day
not really
to
trying to
practice
give
a
up
piece
6-7
to
hours a
make
day
$100
to
playing in
practice
front
a
of a crowd of
piece
12
to
people.
make $100 playing in front of a crowd of 12 people.
Right. And that's the other element as well. You know that whole kind of thing about it takes 10,000 hours to master something. Like, yeah, man. And especially you got a full-time job, you got kids, you got other hobbies. I mean, like, I was saying earlier how I've been working on all these different tracks and it's been great. Like, don't get me wrong, I've been so excited to be working on all of these different things. But like there's a thick layer of dust on my PlayStation. And there's a lot of friends I haven't seen in a while, and so it's like if someone had said to you, okay, well, look, I can wave a magic wand and make you amazing at this, that, and the other, you'd be like, cool. But in order to get that,
Yeah,
you're going to need to put 10,000 hours
Yeah.
in,
You're
which
gonna
means
from something
you got to
else.
take 10,000
Right.
hours out of
From
all
something
the
else.
other things.
That's right.
You're like, well, shit, man, I like these other things. I like hanging out with my kids, and I like seeing my mates and going to the pub, and
Right.
the mates at the
I
pub,
love
the
my
kids.
kids. I love them. I don't like
I mean,
hanging out
I
with
love
them
my kids. I love
because
them.
Yeah.
I
they're
don't like
really
hanging out
selfish
with
and
them
self-centered,
because
and they
they're
don't
really
have
selfish and
the
self-centered.
yes,
And they
very
don't
very
have
loud,
the
and they don't have
yes,
the
very
social
very
acuity to be
loud,
like,
and they
hey,
don't have the
let's
social
just
acuity
chill
to
and
be
be
like,
quiet and
hey,
hang out. You know what I'm
let's just
saying?
chill and be
It's
quiet and
like my
hang
daughter
out.
will
You
do
know
it.
what I'm
She'll sit
saying?
on the couch across
It's
from me
like
and
my
read her little
daughter will
book
do
and
it.
just
She'll
chill.
sit on the couch across from me and read her
None of
little
my
book and
sons
just
will.
chill.
None of them.
And that's
Not
why
even the 11
None
year
of
old.
my sons
I'd be
will.
like, shut
None
the
of
fuck
them.
up.
Not
And he'd
even
be
the
like,
11-year-old. I'd be like, shut the fuck
as
up.
soon as you stop
And he'd
looking,
be
I'll
like,
start talking again.
as soon as you stop looking, I'm gonna start talking again.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
You're like, oh,
hey,
can't you
shut
just
up.
relax, man? Relax and do nothing.
Hey,
Yeah.
shut up.
Bro, come on. Go away. Go,
Bro, come
right.
on.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like,
Where's your
bro,
chill?
it's Zen. It's
Right. I'm
copacetic in
like,
here. We're
bro,
just chilling.
it's
I'm
Zen. It's
sitting here. I'm
copacetic
looking
in
at my
here. We're
phone. I'm
just
doing my
chilling.
research.
I'm
I'm sending
sitting
some
here. Looking at my
emails.
phone. I'm doing
If
my
you want to
research.
be
I'm
in
sending
here
some
with me, you
emails.
just need to just shut
If
the
you
fuck
want to
up.
be in here with me, you just need to
And
just shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
ain't
you
nobody
got to
about
bring
that
it
life.
down, man. You got to come to
But
violence.
my little
ain't
two sons,
Yeah.
But
they
my
are
little two,
no limit soldiers. Like
they are
no questions about it.
no limit
Like
soldiers.
the
Like,
last
Yeah.
time
no questions
we and
about
you
it.
talked,
Like
he
the
was banging
last
on his
time
door
we and you talked,
to ask for
he
like
was
a
banging
pudding
on
and
his
shit. I'm
door
like,
to ask
bro,
for
I
a
literally
pudding
told
and
you
shit.
no.
I'm
I
like,
literally said, hey,
bro,
don't
I
come
literally
in
told
here.
you no.
Don't
I
knock
literally
on
said,
this
hey,
door.
don't
I'm busy.
don't
I'm
come
doing
in here.
something.
Don't
Leave
knock on
me
this
alone.
door.
I will
I'm
let you
busy. I'm
know.
doing something. Leave me alone. I will.
Right. You're like,
Bullshit
hey,
food
hey,
requests as
can we
well.
have pizza for dinner?
You're
Like,
hey,
bro,
hey,
it's like
hey,
11:30 in the
can we have
morning.
pizza
Why are
for
you
dinner?
asking that?
Like, bro,
Yeah.
it's like 11:30 in the morning. Why are you asking that?
Yeah.
Right.
But then his response to that is
So,
like, yeah, but are we having it or not?
you make a decision about that pizza yet?
So, you make a decision about that pizza yet?
Mhm.
Well,
And that's the thing. And then all you
I'm
can
like,
do is answer the
like,
question.
no,
right.
Like,
no, we're not.
through like gritted
And then
teeth.
like,
no, we're not.
so what about ramen?
And then like,
now there's a debate.
so what about ramen?
Yeah.
How do you feel about
What are
spaghetti?
your thoughts on that?
You sure we can't go? Let's go revisit this pizza thing.
Yeah.
You sure we can't go? Let's go revisit this pizza thing.
Right.
Let's revisit the pizza because you
How
didn't think about
about
pepperoni. We didn't
we
talk.
have
We didn't talk
pizza,
toppings. You just
and you have something else?
We
How about
have
that?
pizza.
Mhm.
You have something
Right.
else. How about that?
That's right. You see, you didn't think about that.
Right.
You didn't think about any of
And
those. You
like,
just shut the idea down.
Right.
my youngest son,
And like,
this cat come gangbanging in the room like 1:30 in the morning, went to sleep.
Gangbanging in the room.
Like my wife got to be
1:30
to
in the
work
morning,
at
went to
like
sleep.
5:30 in the morning. So
Like my wife
nobody's
got
trying
to
to
work at
fight
like
that
5:30
fight.
in the morning.
Nobody's
So
trying to deal with that shit.
nobody's trying to fight
So
that
this
fight.
dude just gets free
Nobody's
reign to
trying
do
to
what he
deal with that
wants.
shit.
He gets
So this
up
dude just
when
gets
I'm
free
in the
reign to do what
shower.
he wants.
takes
Yeah.
his
gets
little
up
tablet,
when I'm in the
goes
shower,
out front. All the other
takes
kids are in
his little
trouble
tablet,
because they were supposed
goes
to
out
clean their
front.
rooms up and
All
they
the other
hadn't
kids are
done
in
it, shit that
trouble
hadn't been
because
checked.
they were supposed to clean their
So
rooms up and they
I go out
didn't, so they
there
hadn't been
and this
checked.
little boy is sitting on top of
So
my
I
daughter,
go out
playing
there
with a
and this
tablet
little
he
boy
ain't supposed
sitting
to
on top of my
have,
daughter,
and she's
playing
just
with a
like,
tablet he ain't supposed
I
to
had to sit
have.
here and watch the
And she's
tablet
just
with him
like,
because he sat on
I
top of
had
me
to
and
sit
wrapped
here and
himself
watch the
and me with the
tablet with him because
blankets.
he sat on top
Like
of
we're
me
just
and
in
wrapped
blankets and
himself
pillows
and
and
me
stuff,
with the
and
blanket.
I couldn't do
Like we're just
anything
in
about
blankets
it.
and pillows.
That made
He
I couldn't do
forced
anything
me
about it.
yeah,
to
what was I
watch the
supposed to do?
tablet with
He
him,
forced me
and I'm like,
to watch the
I'm
tablet with
like,
him.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
So here I
okay,
am.
whatever.
Like,
like,
And then like I go sit in my chair,
okay,
and
whatever.
dude brings his
And then
tablet that
like
he's
I
not
go
supposed to
sit in
have.
my
By the way,
chair and
no
dude
one's
brings
giving him
his
permission
tablet
to
that he's
have.
not supposed to
And
have.
he
By the
sits
way,
on top of
no one's
me
giving him permission to
with
have.
this
yeah,
He sits
yeah.
on
you know,
top of me
this tablet.
with this.
He's like, yeah, this
count-
is
you
mine
know,
now, bro.
He's
this
just letting you
That's how
know.
this works.
He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is mine now, bro. This is just
And
how
then
it
he's
That's
is.
like
like,
literally like a dog just pissing on its
make this
territory.
work.
Like,
He's like,
Make this work.
hey,
I ran out of time.
make this
We've
work.
done the 2 hours
Yeah.
already.
I
Make
ran out
this
of
work.
to the
time.
wife.
And I'm
We've
like,
done the 2 hours already. Make this
oh, you
work.
got some balls,
like,
man.
Yeah.
Here, fix it.
Bro, you got some balls, man.
And like
Yeah.
Here,
and like my wife called it.
10
And I'm like,
ton
yeah,
balls.
he's in
and,
here.
and like
He's in here
and
sitting on
like my
top of me
wife
with his
called it.
tablet.
And I'm like,
I'm
yeah,
like, I
he's,
guess
he's
it's
in
his
here,
now. I
he's
guess
in
he
here
just
sitting on
owns
top
it.
of me with his
She's
tablet.
like, yeah, well,
I'm
you
like,
ain't
I guess
smacked
it's
him in the
his now. I
face and
guess he
told him
just
put it
owns
back
it.
yet, have
She's
you?
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you
I'm
ain't
like, yeah,
smacking him in the face and told him
I'm
put
just
it
not
back
trying
yet,
to.
have
I'm
you?
not trying to have that
I'm
fight
like,
today.
yeah, I'm
And
not.
she's like,
I'm
yeah,
not-
that's why he
I'm
does
not-
it.
I'm
It's
not trying to have that
because
fight today.
you,
She's
you
like, yeah,
sir,
that's why he does
you're
it.
the one
because
that educates
you,
everything,
sir,
and you
you're
let
the
him do
one
it.
that
So
educates
obviously,
everything,
he's got
and you let him
divine
do it.
permission
So
to do whatever the fuck he
obviously,
wants.
he's got
Yeah.
And
divine
it's
permission to do
horrible
whatever
because I
the
know
fuck
it's
he
true.
wants.
Because
Mhm.
like
And
my
it's
other
horrible
kids,
because I know it's
they
true.
wouldn't try that shit. They
Yeah.
wouldn't try
Because
it at
like
all.
my other kids,
But like
they
I've had
wouldn't
him
try
since he
that
was
shit. They
6
wouldn't
weeks
try that
old.
shit.
My wife
But
got
like
done
I've
with
had
maternity
him
leave.
since
She
he was
bounced
6 weeks old.
like
My
straight
wife
bottle
got done with
fed
maternity leave. She
him.
bounced
Breast milk,
like straight
but it's in a
bottle
bottle.
fed him.
You know.
Breast milk,
So
breast milk,
I had to
but
take
it's
care
in a
of
bottle.
him because
You
that
know.
was
Yeah.
full
So I
steam.
had to take care of
COVID.
him
I was
because
stay at
that was
home
full
dad thing.
steam.
I've taken
COVID.
care of him since he
I was
was
stay at home
nothing.
dad thing. I've
And I
taken
have a
care of him
connection
since he
with
was
him that I
nothing.
don't with my other kids.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have a connection with him that I don't
But
with
he
my
takes
other
advantage
kids.
of it.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
takes
That's how it
advantage
works,
of it
man.
in his bad.
But he takes advantage of it.
But
He takes
also
advantage
he's
of
the
it.
only one that
That's
plays the
kids do.
piano.
That's what they do.
He's the
But
only one that
also
shows an
he's the
interest in
only one
playing
that plays
guitar.
the piano.
He's the only
Yeah.
one
only
that'll
one that
actually
shows an
sit
interest in
and
playing
chill
guitar.
and listen to
He's
music.
the only
when I'm
one
listening
that'll
to
actually
music.
sit and chill and listen to music when I'm
Right.
listening to music.
So
So you
in
kind of have to
exchange,
let some shit slide.
Right.
You-
So
yeah, you're
Can
about
you
out of time, aren't you?
Can you hold that thought just one sec?
yeah, you're
Yes.
out of time.
Hey man, we'll just wrap it up, man.
Yes,
It's
and
always
I've
good
got to go
talking
in a
to
sec
you.
as well. Yeah.
Hey man, we'll just wrap it up. And it's always
We'll
good
do this
talking
again
to
in
you.
another couple
Yeah,
months.
of course,
check
man.
back up on you
Anytime,
with your
man.
new
You know where
project.
I'm
We'll
at.
do this again in another couple months. Check back up on you with your new project.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
man,
definitely.
take it
I want to
easy.
hear what you're up to as well. Next concert as well.
Hell yeah, man. Take it easy.
Look after yourself, dude.